Is this thing on? Is this thing working? Because your girl has recorded this like 10 times. It is episode 8, and I am Andy with Andy Hoffer Coaching. And today we are talking about wasting my time. Man, creating podcasts with the mic off, that's wasting my time, right? But the real topic was thinking about, I used to be that person who was like, yo, I don't have time. I can't do anything. I gotta go. I gotta do. I gotta be. I gotta shake. I got things to do, places to go, people to see. I don't have time to meal prep. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have the time to pray, meditate, journal. I don't have the time. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about that because I was there. I was that person. I was that girl. Okay. And so really what prompted this was like right before I competed. So this is like back in June, July, August, right, of 2023. I actually calculated how much time I was spending at the gym because preparing for a show is pretty time intensive. Like I was doing tons of cardio. I was tons of walking, tons of exercise. There was like a whole bunch going on, right? And so I calculated it, and it was something along the lines of 40 hours a week, a full-time job, 9 to 5. Like that's how much I was going to the gym. Okay. I mean, obviously these are pretty extreme. Like I would never tell anybody that they needed to do that unless they were going to be bodybuilding. And so I wanted to really figure out how I was that person that couldn't find 5 minutes to journal to somebody who is 40 hours at the gym because like that's what I wanted to do. Like, how did I get there? Like, what steps did I take in order to be able to get there? Because I promise you, you can carve out the time for the gym, for prayer, meditation, health, wellness, meal prepping, whatever it is that you want, you can carve out the time. But I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I got there. Because for me, it's really important to stop wasting time. Like we just spend so much time just wasting, doing nothing with ourselves. And that is where the real issue is that we don't recognize the amount of time that we actually have and that we waste doing things that aren't productive. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you want to shut your brain off and just, veg out and just be and do and just relax. I get that. But when it's taking up that much time where you can fit in another full-time job, that's a problem. So, let's take it back to when I had started my journey because when my journey started, I was like, you know what? Like, I really do not have the time for anything. I don't. I've got so much going on. I have my kids, I have my husband, I have all this stuff going on for me. And really, he wasn't my husband at the time. He was my boyfriend. And really, somebody said, take a look at your internet screen time because Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, even freaking LinkedIn, y'all, YouTube, how much time are you actually spending on this? And your phone will tell you exactly how much time you're on these apps. And lo and behold, I was like, wow, like I spend somewhere between 6 to 8 hours on my phone. And it's not like I'm talking to people. I'm just on the internet watching videos or, reading stuff or listening to podcasts or, like I'm just doing so much stuff on my phone that is taking up 8 hours of my day. Like, how is it that all this time is being dedicated to this tiny little box in my hand? How is that even a thing? Like, I was floored. Like, I could not even imagine, like, how it is that, like, all this stuff is happening. And then I started thinking, man, how else am I wasting my time? How else am I, like, just not using my time effectively? And as it turns out, like, I would do things very inefficiently. Like, if I were going to, like, this is an example from now, right? Like, if I'm going to do my cardio, right? If I know I'm going to be on the treadmill for a long time, for an hour, like, I could be doing other things while I'm on the treadmill, right? If I am, processing my my podcast. Like, I don't have to be just sitting there only focusing on this one thing. I can also have music playing in the background. Like, I can listen to music while I'm doing it. Like, I don't have to do one thing in isolated vacuum here. Okay. And so I decided I want to get my life together. I want to get my stuff together because, quite frankly, I was like, I keep complaining about, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I do things. I don't like how I feel here. I want to change. And I made the decision, which is the important part, right? To change because that was what I wanted. I don't want to be right here. I want to be over there because I feel like over there, I can eliminate the noise about what it is to be here so that I can look at what's really important, right? So I decided, you know what, just everybody be damned. Everybody be damned. I'm going to do what I got to do. Okay. I started going to yoga. I started running. And it was after work. Let me just tell you, after work, Andy, is a mess. Okay. Like, I'm tired. Like, I don't want to do nothing. But I was like, you know what? Let me try this out. And for a while it worked. For a while it was good. It was great because I started moving in the right direction. But then I was like, no, that's not it. That's not it. Hey, let's move it to the morning. Okay, but I don't have time in the morning. I got to get up. I got to go to work. Oh, Andy, get up early. Yeah, that's the start of me getting up early. So I get up early. I start going to the gym and I'm like, yes, this works because I feel great. I go to my yoga class and then I go to work. Like, perfect. This is awesome. Like, and bonus, because now that I'm forced to get all sweaty and gross in the morning, I have to shower. And if I got to shower, I might as well do my makeup, get nice, get dressed and everything. Like, it's no more rolling out of the bed into whatever I can find in my closet and then just getting to work. It was like, oh, I actually can consciously start to think about how I'm presenting myself, right? So, two things that happened right there. One, I just did it. I just say, everybody else, you know what? All of you guys need to take a back seat, at least for a week, at least for 2 weeks, at least for a month. Let me figure this out. I want to do this. I'm just going to do it. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm busy after work. I got to get to the gym. I'm sorry. I'm busy after work. I got a meal prep. I'm sorry. I'm busy. You know what? I will catch you next week when I can figure this out, because that is number one. Me is number one. And then the second thing that happened when I realized after work, Andy is fucking trash. After I realized, you know what, Andy, like, you are useless to society after work. I had to dig in and say, you know, I'm going to make the decision. There's that crucial aspect. Make the decision to start working out in the morning, which worked out for many other reasons. Now, how did I get to all of a sudden, like, doing 40 hours at the gym? It's called time management. Lists, calendars, spreadsheets. Those are your friend. Okay? Those are your friend, because when you have it out in front of you, when you have your calendar in front of you and you're just like, hey, this is what I got to do. Let me take a look at this week. Oh, I have a wedding that week. Okay. Then I know that I cannot work out on Saturday, but I can work out on Friday, when is usually my rest day. So I'm going to take that rest day, then move it over to Saturday so that I can be present at the wedding, so that I don't have to think about it. And then you just execute. You just do it. Take that mental load off. But that's comes with time, with practice. See what works for you. First, it was spreadsheets for me. Man, I love me a spreadsheet. Like, I absolutely love spreadsheets. Okay. I spreadsheet my spreadsheets. If you know anything about me, I be spreadsheeting everything. Okay. Then the second thing is moved from the spreadsheet over to my calendar and a list. Because my calendar has everything laid out in the days. I'm like, I know today, this is what I got to do. I know tomorrow, that's what I got to do. I know, like, you can forecast what's going on and you can plan and prepare and visualize. Now, that's not to say that my plans always go 100% correctly. But I tell you this, I'm prepared. I tell you this, I can pivot. I tell you this, I practice, because so many times that I haven't gotten it right, I know how to move. You just have to execute. You just have to do it. You just have to make the decision. Stop using that time that's so wasted and be more effective. Time management, that's how you do it. It's important to make sure that you have a method. Now, whether it's a spreadsheet, if you're cuckoo in the head like me, spreadsheets are great. Calendars, for me, it's a visual timeline. I can see what's going on, and a list. I got my running list. I'm looking at it right now. My running list of what I need to buy at the supermarket every single time. I write it down because I buy the same thing. I eat the same thing. Like that's a whole other conversation. But I know when I go to the supermarket, boom, that's what I got to buy. Go get it done. I don't spend an hour trying to figure out, okay, got a meal plan. No, got it done. So going from I have no time to I'm going to spend 40 hours at the gym, that's a big jump. That's not something that you're going to do overnight. That's not something that's going to happen today, tomorrow, next week. This took years to figure out. It took years to see what works, what didn't work, what works, but kind of doesn't work. But if I just do this, rearrange it here and make, this over here, turn this way and go over here, then it works perfect. That's the way that you make a health and wellness lifestyle. Now, I'm going extra time today, but I just wanted to share with you guys that the crucial part about going from somebody who says they don't have time for the small things to going to somebody who can make all the time in the world because that is what they want. That is what they're chasing after. That is their goal. That is their life's purpose right there. Starts with the decision and practice. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope I didn't waste your time. I hope you're on the treadmill listening to me. Love you guys.